A man wanted to buy a weapon with 2 silver coins, but the weapon shop owner mocked him, saying the coins were only enough to pick the weakest weapon from a bucket. However, the man didn't mind the shop owner's ridicule. Jack picked up a weapon from the bucket and used an appraisal spell on it. After his assessment, he found that all the weapons had a durability and strength of 0. Just as Jack was about to leave, he suddenly saw a peculiar black old sword that piqued his curiosity. Before he could use the appraisal spell, the sword began to speak. Jack was startled and thought he had misheard. He then used the appraisal spell on the sword, and the sword began to introduce itself, claiming that it wouldn't let him be at a disadvantage. The sword urged Jack to buy it. Jack was curious about how the sword knew about his skill, and the sword explained that it and Jack were of the same kind. Hearing same kind, Jack suddenly remembered the strange events from the previous night. Jack had once been at the very bottom of society, with a talent skill called gluttony, which, aside from making him often feel hungry, had no other use. His level and attributes were also the lowest. However, Jack always dreamed of becoming a warrior, though even killing a goblin was a challenge for him. Right now, Jack could only work as a gatekeeper in this country to earn a little money. There were 3 paladins with high talents but low morals, and every time they came to pay Jack, they would humiliate him and even kick him. Among them, a female paladin named Mary couldn't stand it and often came to stop them. Jack considered Mary his goddess. Mary often cared about Jack, but Jack didn't want to drag her down, so he chose to bear everything alone. The owner of a shop worried that Jack would end up like the previous guard, tortured to death, but Jack had no other choice. One day, on his way home, Jack noticed some invading thieves and immediately informed Mary. Mary asked Jack to stay at the gate while she went alone to catch the thieves. After a loud fight, Jack thought Mary had caught them, but then an injured thief appeared, heading towards Jack. Jack wanted to run, but Mary had asked him to stay. He didn't want to let her down, so this time, Jack decided to take the initiative. He thrust his spear at the thief, and the thief was killed. Then something magical happened. Jack's gluttony skill was activated. Even though he was still at level 1, his attributes doubled. Jack also acquired the skills of appraisal and telepathy. Before Jack could react to what was happening, Mary ran over, holding Jack's hands with great concern. Jack could hear her thoughts. She was worried about how bad Jack looked and was concerned for him. But the next second, Jack couldn't hear her anymore. Mary thanked Jack for the information. If the thieves had stolen something, she would have been blamed. As a thank you, Mary invited Jack to work for her family. Jack was thrilled but worried that the other paladins would cause trouble for her because of this. Mary reassured him that she would handle it, and Jack agreed to her invitation. After Jack returned home, he was excited about the awakening of his gluttony skill, believing that he could truly become a warrior. The next morning, Jack excitedly rushed to the blacksmith's shop to buy a weapon. And then, the sword began to speak again. When the 3 paladins found out that Mary had brought Jack over, they were very angry. However, since Mary's family was one of the 5 major noble families in the kingdom, they didn't dare to say much. After Jack bought the sword, his first goal was to kill a goblin. He swung the sword, and the goblin was immediately slain. Jack's gluttony skill was activated again, and he gained the skill of strength enhancement. Jack became even more excited, seeing an infinite future ahead of him. That night, Jack killed goblins all night long. His attributes increasing from 100 to over 1000. He also learned the skill of stamina enhancement, and for the first time, Jack's stomach didn't feel hungry. The sword explained that normal people gained experience from killing monsters, but Jack's gluttony skill could steal the opponent's attribute values and skills, without earning any experience points. As a result, Jack would always remain at level 1, but his attributes would continue to grow as he defeated enemies. The gluttony skill was a game-breaking ability, so Jack had to keep it hidden, or it would bring him a lot of trouble. Jack killed 30